So, hi everyone. Okay, how are you? I hope you guys are doing fine. So, after a long time, we came up with a very basic and popular app that is Weather app. So, we're going to learn how to build a weather app with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the most simplest way, okay, and step by step. So, maybe you don't know about HTML, don't know about CSS, or don't know about JS. Don't worry, we're going to cover everything from a basic, okay, so that you learn, you build, okay. So first, okay, before we start with weather app, okay, I think we should know what this app about, right? So this app going to tell us about the weather, about the current weather. For example, you stay in London or you stay in Kolkata, if you stay in Delhi, okay, it will tell you the current weather of the particular city. So before we start building the weather app, we should learn about basic concept of JS, that is object. Now, if somebody asks you what is object, what is JavaScript object? An object is like a box or a treasure chest that holds things together. Means, for example, you have a toy, a box of toys, right? So what happens that this box contains all the toys, right? So this is an object, right? So let's see. So for example, this is a card, this is a box, and see what you have. For example, a name Teddy, age 2, and color brown. So this card is a box, right? Which holds the name of the teddy bear, the age of the teddy bear, and the color of the teddy bear, right? So let's build this in our JavaScript and we're going to learn how object works. So let's go to the code pane, okay? So we're going to go to the code pane, okay? And so this is the first. Okay. So let's take a new pane and I'm going to name it as a weather app. Now HTML, in HTML, we're going to write the first element, that is h1, okay, h1 tag. So we created the first HTML tag, and now what are we going to do? So this is the first step of building the weather app, okay. So first we're going to make it into the middle, okay. So each one text align center. So it went to the center, right? Now I'm going to save. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, now I'm going to make another uh, div, or maybe I'll just give a h2 tag. Okay. The object. And here I'm going to use another thing as a span. Okay. So, so the span, sorry, and complete the h2 tag. Here we go. So we're going to create that card, right? What we have seen, right? This card, right? We're going to build this card, okay? Now, what do you need to do? Now, insert this. So when run the span class is equals to okay. Now I'm going to use the JavaScript, okay? Document dot query selector. So what is document.query selector? So document means we are selecting the HTML, right? And query selector means we are selecting something, right? So we are selecting something from the HTML, from the document. Okay, what we are selecting? This card. Okay, so card, we selected the card. Okay, because this is a class name, that's why I use dot and card. Okay, then dot, say inner HTML. If I write something, for example, hello. So it will be, see, it will be printed hello. Can you see that? So let's give a space. Hello. Okay. Now what are we going to do? We're going to first build the object. Okay. So how to create an object? Okay. So for example, let my teddy, okay, is equals to, so what is the name of the teddy? Is the teddy. Okay. Name of the teddy is teddy. Name of the teddy. I'm giving a funny name, right? Or a good name. There is a Leo. Okay. Let's give it a Leo. And then type, what is it? It's a bear, right? Then what is age? For example, age is maybe 2, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to print this inside this. Okay, let's do this. Now, as I told you, I will build a card. Now, instead of this, I'm going to build a div. Now, div. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to put this just like we did this one, and I'm going to give this name class equals to. Now, see what I'm going to do. Give a dot box. Now I'm going to give the box height is equals to 400 pixel. Sorry, 400 pixel, and give a width about 400 pixel. Okay, a square box. I'm going to color the background color is green. Okay, let's give it, or give it a type. Okay, now see this box is created, right? Maybe let's give it a 200. Okay, I think so. Needed that much. Now inside this box, we want to print the objects. Okay, so let's do that. Now first I'm going to write each one. It's a tag, each one tag class equals to the name, right? So then the type, okay, h3, okay, and I'm giving this class name as type, okay, just like that, and I'm giving the h5, h3, it's also h3, okay, I'm giving h3, okay, plus is equals to t. Now see, what I need to do, I'm going to put this in. Let's do this. So it's just like this. Just like this. What do you do? Document query selector window comma dot need. Okay. I hope you can see the screen. Inner HTML. Okay. HTML is equals to. I'm giving the name is what is the name? So because we're using the HTML, not the So review. So we can also print it, right? So what are you gonna do? My table, okay, dot name. Now see the name, right? See, name. You see that? Or you can, if you want to write something like this, just click on the screen. So what are we gonna do? Name is equals to this. The name equals to name. Okay. So I think you can set it small, right? Okay. And the third one, we can copy the same thing, right? Same way we write. So just copy and just paste it. Okay. Instead of this, I'm going to write type, type, and I'm going to write it. Type, type, and instead of the name, I'm going to write the age. I'm going to write the age. So this is the okay. But see all name, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to change this. So the type will be page. Okay. And it's just it. Then type period age 2. Okay. All done, right? So that is how you can create an object and you can how you can print, right? So I hope how to create an object, how to print it is pretty much clear, right? So we done the object. Now what is JSON? Why JSON is most important thing? So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. But more than that, JSON is a way you can store data in NoSQL database. Okay. So it's just, if I tell you in a simple word, think of JSON as a way to send toy or a game information using a magic letter that computers understand, right? So just a way you can send the data that our computer or a compiler understand, right? So then we can change this JSON into an object and we can use it. Okay? So that's by using this JSON format, we're going to build our weather app. Okay. So let's go to our next step to building the weather app. So, so to build the weather app, we need API, right? So let's go to the OpenWeather, okay? So it's a very popular API to fetch weather data. So if you go, so we have to first sign in, okay? Here, just go to sign in. And if you don't have an account, like I don't have an account, so I'll just create, for example, ID. Here, I just use your email, okay? For example, you can see my email, so I'm just going to use this email, okay? I'm just going to give the password, okay? 16 and okay, all okay, okay. Check in. Just yep. So it will be saved, okay? Just nothing to save, just write hello and choose the answer. Just education service. Select. All done. Setup is all done, okay? Now go to this here and you will see the API. Can you see that API key? Just copy it. Okay. Now go to this database. Oh, sorry, JavaScript, and I'm going to remove all of that. Okay, because we don't need it, right? First, we're going to do const API key is equals to. So I'm going to paste. Okay. Done pasting the API. Then I'm going to write my, for example, right? City is equals to put. Okay. Now I'm going to write done. Now I'm going to use the const URL. Required, I will get this URL. Okay, that's the most important thing, correct? So I will get the URL. Go there, go to the API, okay, and see this go down. This is our current weather data, right? Go to the doc, and if you go there, you go to this. If you go there, and you go down. So we have the link, right? So this is the link. Okay. So we're going to use this link. Okay. Now copy this link. Use it here. Okay. Now what are you going to do first? So we got the open with the map data weather, and instead of this, I'm going to remove it. Okay. Remove it. Instead of this, I'm going to use q is equals to dollar city, right? So done. So if you use this, so I think it's better to do it in the in our VS Code to see what is the result, right? So if you go to the console, so if you go to this console, okay, you can also do in VS Code. So go to the console, just clearing it out because I'm not writing anything, right? Now what I will do first, I will just then after API key, I will use another thing that is okay. Just go to this API key, right? So I will just put it here, put it here. I'm just going to use this. I got the API setup all set up, but I will use another thing that is a matrix. Okay, so I will use the units. Okay, then units equals to I will use it as a metric. Okay, I think our link is set up. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do. Now we're going to fetch what? We're going to fetch the URL. So if you want to fetch anything from the API or anything from a URL, okay. So if you want to see something like if I use this link, see if I use this link here, and instead of city, if I use Kolkata, see, Kolkata, and instead of this data, if I give this API that we have created, just copy it, and in this URL, I will say this, I will paste this URL. See, here comes something like this. Okay, saying invalid API. Okay, Say invalid API. Or if I copy this one, okay, see, and if I copy this one, this one, let's see if it's coming or not. So okay, there's no issue. I think there's an issue with the fetching the data. Let me see. Let's do this. Page URL. Okay. Dot. Then what are you going to do? Then we're going to use the response, right? Response dot JSON. Okay. I've done it. Then what are you going to do? Dot then should be dot then. What are we going to do? Use the data uh, console dot log and print the data. Okay. Let's see if it's coming or not. Yeah, it's coming with that. But I think what we did, actually, I think is checking the email. So we have to verify our email, then only it will work. Yeah. So just verify the email. Okay. And now if I go to this API, now if I check it again, okay, it's not working. So I will just, okay, I will generate another API. Okay. Another API. So let's use this API. Okay. It's not working. So let's use this. So another thing is I want to say that if you're creating the API for the first time, so maybe after verification, it will take some time to get an access. Okay. So I'm using my old account API. So if I go to this, paste it here. Okay. As you see, the object actually came. Okay. See, it got the data. Can you see that? Got the data. If you go there also, use of this, I will use this. Yeah, and now paste it. So see, we got the data, right? We got the data. So we also got the data here. Now it's time for the next steps. Okay. So what we want to print what? We want to print the temp. See the temperature, right? We want to print the temperature. So instead of this, we want to print the multiple, right? So instead, here we're going to do write the console.log the data, right? That is what we have printed. For this, yeah, and I did it. Let's see, I write console.log. But what I want to mean. This is an object, right? So I want data dot mean dot. Now what will you print? Is printing, right? The temperature. Can you see that? Now what do you do? So I want to print the description of the of this description is that basically overcast cloud, right? So let's print that. So instead of printing here, what we can do, we can print in the box. Okay, let's do this. This is the box. Okay, now we're going to print this. Okay, now let's make it into 3. Okay, now we're going to do so the temp is equals to, and we'll use the span. Okay, is that what we used, span. Okay, now what do we do? Now if you see this, so this is the temperature. So today we're going to show you how we can bring this into the main page. Okay, and in our second video we're going to build this, we're going to design it, okay, into a proper with the image with an icon. So temp, but it's sure it should be the temperature, right? So I'm just giving a class name is equals to temp. Okay, it's not needy this one. Okay, I'm just going to paste it here and paste it here. Okay, I want the humidity. So what you want? I want, and we also want the city name, right? The city name is also important, right? So write it, and I'm going to write it. City name. Okay, this should be the name. Okay, this should be the should be the feels like. Okay, and it's the temperature and how it feels, right? Feels like, and what is the description, right? Maybe it's the description. So don't worry, I will teach you how to bring the images and all in the next upcoming video. Okay, description. Okay, so class description in itself feels like, right? Done. Okay. So we did that. Okay, so our things are ready, right? So now is just to put the values, right? So what are we going to do instead of this is a boring data. Let's call in the front end, right? It will be cool, right? So don't worry. In next video, we're going to bring with the very cool design weather app. Okay. So city name. Okay. So let's do this. Document dot Paris selector. Okay. Now I'm going to select. The first I'm going to select is the name, right? So what I'm going to write here is a dot inner HTML. Inner HTML should be data dot main. Look at this. So there's a name. Where is the name? You can see we print the object, right? The name was in. Yeah, let me print it again. Console dot log the data, right? So you'll be able to see. So, see the where is the name? The name is right there, right? So we can what we can do if you simply write the name. So data dot name. So see the name came, right? Can you see that? Polka. Now I want the same thing I'm going to do. Copy. This space name is writing. Instead of this, I'm going to write the temperature, right? So I need the temperature. So we write mean dot temperature. Right? It will come the temperature. So I will just okay. Okay, now first I did set it to 10, space 15, just tables. It will come in the tables. You see that? Okay, all good, looking good. So let's go or fill the form. So this name is will be feels like, right? So where is the feels like? So look at here. The feels like is beside the main, right? See main. So I'm just going to write this name, which is right to fill underscore. Like just like how it is written, right? See, that's it. Okay. Now the description. Now see, where is the description? If we look at this, description is not in the description is in the weather, right? So you need to access the weather. Yeah. So what we need to do, so same thing we need to do is that paste it. Then here we're going to write the description, right? Description. And in this, it's a me issue in the weather, right? So weather first it's a object. So we need to access the add. Okay. Zero dot description. Okay. Now it's all done. So let's increase the width. Okay. So it should be good. So now it's good. Now we can also increase the padding if you want. Padding left with 5 pixel per person. Okay. So this is how we build the weather app, right? So it's a very basic weather app. Don't worry. In our next chapter, in our next video, we are bringing a cool designing weather app, okay, with the images.